Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts89. Well, there's a lot of excitement about Buffy at the moment. There is some serious talk about it being greenlit as a reboot or a revival or something, because it is a little unclear, like those sort of details. But what we are hearing is we're starting to hear names and companies, and it's starting to sound like it's close to actually being done. I think there's something on Deadline, and it just feels like it's about to be announced, but nothing has been announced yet. But the rumours are it's going to be done through 20th Century TV and Searchlight TV. They had a first option. It's going to be on Disney Plus, on Hulu, depending on, international or American. A lot of the original executive producers are coming back. Dolly Parton's company, Sen Dollar Productions, who was involved in the original, which no one knew back in the day, came out later, and then everyone loved Dolly Parton more. She's involved. It's involved. Now, one of the first, well, there's okay, the first real red flag is Chloe Zhao is going to be directing, apparently, and she has a very mixed reputation. She got an Oscar for Nomadland, but a lot of people didn't like it, and a lot of people didn't like The Eternals. I don't know if it's good or bad, but they hated it, but that doesn't really mean anything, because a lot of these shows just get trashed by the alt-right media, and that it's very tribal at the moment, and you have a lot of so it's really unclear. But even if the film was bad, failed and didn't do well, it doesn't mean she wouldn't be a good director. She didn't write it, she didn't produce it, she didn't promote it. She may be a good director. Now, the writers are apparently Nora and Lila Zuckerman, who are a pair of sisters, I think. And I don't know. The main issue seems to be that Josh Whedon is not going to be involved, and that is understandable, because now he's problematic. It came out after the fact that he was actually very problematic during the production, and a lot of the actors and writers, actors and people were just really not happy with his behaviour and on set, and there are a lot of wild rumours, but they all seem to have been substantiated by the actual actors, and everyone seems to have commented on it now, and he pretty much was cancelled and left the industry. Now, can they do a reboot without him? Does he have hold over it as a creator? Does he have to be involved or not? It's unclear to me, but if he was involved, a lot of people were going to cry foul, and that's the interesting thing about Buffy, because a lot of the things that have been rebooted, like Star Trek, because they try and act like it's the same universe, but they basically put it in a new universe and rebooted it, essentially. Same thing with Star Wars. A lot of these franchises have had issues, and there have been genuine issues and genuine concerns from fans. And then there have been, of course, the alt-right, pop culture wars, usual suspects who have just been going on about it because, the media is just divided, it's all tribal, and you have these two sides of America now. You have to pick a side, and if you're seen as being progressive, the alt-right will attack you. If you're seen as being alt-right, the progressives will try and cancel you. It's just a mess. And the thing about Buffy is Buffy was always woke. It was so woke back in the day, and those fans, that generation who embraced that show, are pretty woke, and they were mocking the Star Trek fans. They basically called us a bunch of old racist men because we didn't like the new show with the black actress leading it, which was not the issue. They didn't seem to understand that Star Trek had always had racial casts and everything, and that wasn't the issue for genuine fans with genuine criticism. But I don't see how the usual suspects are going to complain that, oh, Buffy's woke now. It was always woke. If it's not woke, it's going to be a problem, because it should be. So I don't know how that's going to go, because how can they hate it and get their hate clicks and their money if it's great and sticks to the original? Because they can't, that's the thing, they can't like the original. They talk about it like, oh, Buffy was great. But if this show comes out and it's just as woke as the original, they're going to have to attack it. So it's just going to be interesting to see how that goes. And without Joss Whedon, there's going to be a lot of people saying, oh, it's lost its magic, it's lost its voice. But frankly, half the people working in genre have taken on, Josh's voice, and like Buffy speakers everywhere, and that's part of the problem with all the new shows. They're not this timeless classic sort of presentation and dialogue. It's all trying to be hip and now, and trying to be very of the moment and sarcastic and have its own little lingo, just like Buffy did, which was very unique to Buffy, but now has become what everyone does and dates everything instantly. Because the problem with Buffy was very much set in the allegory of monsters for teenage trauma and issues, and a lot of people in their teenage years embraced the show. A whole generation embraced it, and then they grew up and moved on, and that's kind of why Buffy disappeared. And in theory, they can do that again. Buffy could come back as like a Giles-like character looking over new Slayers, something like that. They could work it that way and basically reboot it while keeping all the original characters. Because if they get rid of all the characters and literally reboot it, the original fans will reject it. If they do it, they've got to do it right. I don't know. It's curious how it's going to be done. It's curious how it's going to play out. And I'm just curious to see what happens because we still don't know if it's even going to happen. But it sounds like it's going to, and I had to talk about it. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the potential for a Buffy